Welcome to Last Week in Warframe, a series where I keep you updated in the past week of Warframe by compiling all news, announcements, and general posts by the developers from the forums, Reddit, Twitter, and even their live streams. Timestamps to each topic as well as their sources are in the description, so without further ado, let's go over these announcements and news from the 31st of March to the 5th of April. Starting this week's recap off, in one of the hotfixes last week, DE removed the ability for Khora to heal op links for the operation and defendable targets in general, and this was labelled as a fix. After a statement was issued by DE about claiming it as a fix, the word used was change to exploit, and that a review of area of effect healing objectives would be coming. This review was released via a developer workshop titled Healing Defendable Targets. The information from that post now follows. Earlier this week, we were tipped off to a problem of our own creation, claiming a fix for Venari plus inanimate objects when a tip from the community creation verifies it's intended. We've been heads down several days on discussions, and ultimately what we want is more healing abilities to work to allow for more strategies to emerge in various mission types. We want there to be lots of options instead of one perfect option. The decision to not allow heals to work on these defensive targets is an old one, and it arose from Trinity's Blessing. The fact it was a 100% heal meant that it trivialized any defense mission. Since then, we have been blocking heal on most abilities, although not super consistently, without reflecting back on the original design decision. Now that we have reviewed it, we feel like healing these objectives can serve well as an alternative or a complement to the commonly used defense abilities, such as Frost Snow Globe, Gara's Mass Vitrify, and Limbo's Cataclysm. 100% heals is not what we want to do, so we are instead trying to allow the effects, but adjusted as to not trivialize the game modes. So, Gara's Mending Splinters augment will affect objectives, Hildren's Haven ability will affect objectives and provide 500 max shields and recharge shields 80% faster. Trinity's Blessing will heal objectives by 500 health over 5 seconds, and that cannot be stacked. Equinox's Mend will affect objectives and will grant shields and heal for 500 over 5 seconds and cannot be stacked. Vazarin's Protective Dash will affect objectives and will no longer provide invulnerability and will heal for 500 health over 5 seconds and cannot stack. Khora's Kavat Venari will heal for 50 health per second and will be able to work on objectives again. Hydraid's Curative Undertow augment will affect objectives by healing 100 health per 1.5 seconds. Harrow's Penance on objectives will heal, but will be capped up to 50 health per. Oberon's Renew will work on objectives and have a 125 burst heal, and then will heal for 50 health per second. Garuda's Blood Siphon will heal by percentage of the missing health, and it will affect objectives. Inaris's Scarab Swarm, Nidus's Ravenous, and Wisps' Vitality Mote heals will affect the objectives. Volt's Capacitance will affect objectives but will cap at 250 shields and grant no overshields. Titania's passive will affect objectives. The Sancti Magistar will affect objectives but will heal up to 500 health over 5 seconds, and this cannot be stacked. The Ancient Healer, the Rejuvenation Aura, and Arcane Pulse will also affect objectives. Damage reduction abilities will also work on objectives. Trinity's Blessing will provide a capped 50% damage reduction to objectives. Mirage's Total Eclipse will provide a capped 50% damage reduction to objectives. Titania's Thorns will continue to provide 50% damage reduction and redirection. Gara's Splinter Storm, Ember's Immolated Radiance, Baruch's Desolate Hands, Harrow's Warding Thurible, and Nezha's Warding Halo will affect objectives, but their damage reduction will be capped at 50%. DE did end the workshop by stating that they are aiming to ship this bigger revision on defendable object healing in a near hotfix, and that we stay tuned as they dive deeper into it. Now moving onward, PC received a number of hotfixes. In 27.3.6, Titania Prime Access went live. The relics for those are up on your screen, but like usual, the Prime Access page on the Warframe website is available for instant acquisition of items and Prime accessories. Limbo Prime, the Piranha Prime, and Destreza Prime have also entered the Prime Vault, and their relics have been removed from the drop table in-game. This hotfix was also the one that removed Venari's ability to heal objectives, and Oplinks plus Umbra Forma was removed from the Sentient caches. In 27.3.7, it released a second sign done for Titania Prime's accessory pack that's shorter to avoid clipping with its model. Anyone that bought the pack will have it in their account now, and those that purchase the pack now will get it. A card is up on your screen that will take you to the full patch note video that covers everything including fixes from those hotfixes. In 27.3.8 and 2 follow-up hotfixes, Tennogen Round 18 went live and is available for players who load into the game through Steam. This hotfix also changed how Limbo Stasis affects sentient enemies and amalgam enemies. The ability now sees diminishing returns when cast on the same sentient or amalgam enemy, where the duration of the freeze is lowered with each subsequent cast. Once again, a full reading of the 27.3.8 hotfix can be found on the channel or by clicking the card at the top of your screen. In regards to Tennogen, the Turkish lira, Ukrainian hryvnia, and Russian ruble has seen an increase in prices, but the euro has seen a decrease in price. For console players, DE are still compiling hotfixes and updates, and DE Danielle updated y'all that TennoCon Round 18 will not be included in your Scarlet Spear update. Also, in regards to the second Prime Sign Dana for Titania Prime Access, that will be available for those that purchase the Prime Accessories Pack, or of course the big bundle that includes the Prime Accessories Pack, when the Scarlet Spear update is released. Now, for those that remember DE saying primary kit guns would be a part of the Scarlet Spear update, DE Bear announced that they will now be released with the Deadlock Protocol. Lastly, to end the episode, the Captura Take 2 contest has ended and the winners are up on your screen, so... Anyway, that concludes this episode of Last Week in Warframe. If you found the video informative, make sure to leave a like. If you think I can improve upon the series in any way, comment section down below. This includes if you want to talk about my glyph acquisition. I had some guy unsub, and, well, the only problem he seemed to have was the glyph acquisition. So if you have a problem with it, comment section, feedback, let me know. And on that topic, if you want the channel glyph, there are 5 codes per platform. Chuck them into the promo code section on the Warframe website. You'll get the glyph. If someone has already redeemed it, you won't be able to get it because each code can only be redeemed once. Anyway, if you missed the last week's episode, the annotation on your screen will take you right to it. Thank you for watching. See you guys next time.